Nada? Nothing interesting, nothing fun? Just don't want to share. Well, okay then. Hope you had a good weekend. Here we are again. We're gonna do some review on some reflexive verbs today, and then I'm gonna let you go work on a little activity. So, what I would like to do to kind of get warmed up is get back in reflexive verb mode. So you're thinking about what is a reflexive verb? How does it work? I did a PowerPoint last week. I gave you some notes. All of these things are under class resources should you need them. Otherwise, let's see if we can kind of refresh together. So first thing I have you do is muéstrame. Remember last week you did this. Muéstrame means what? What do I want you to do? Muéstrame. Has to do with my little cards. If I said, muéstrame cepillarse los dientes, what would you do? Yeah, muéstrame means show me. So I can see some of you are with me. Show me. Muéstrame. All right, show me you're with me. Little vocab. If you don't know it, get out your vocab list or look around and see what other people are doing. Okay, so by now I should see everybody doing this. Okay, I said cepillarse los dientes. Now if I change it, pay attention, see if you can get it. Cepillarse el pelo. Cepillarse el pelo. Good. All right. How about good old, how about despertarse? Despertarse. Ooh, Anna's got it. There goes Ta. Look around, look around. Alyssa's got it. Despertarse. I don't know, maybe you can think of it. You're desperate to stay in bed, but instead you have to do what? Wake up, right? Despertarse. So, show me again. Cepillarse los dientes. Cepillarse los dientes. I should look around. I should see everybody. If you're paying attention, you got these now. And now do despertarse. Despertarse. Giving a little vocab here. All right, good. Just a reminder, E to IE. Okay, we'll talk about that. It's a little stem changer. All right, let's go with good old, how about cortarse el pelo? Cortarse el pelo. Gus has it. Caleb, what's up? Everybody else is showing me.
Do I write this down somewhere?
Nope, you're showing me. Muéstrame. You're supposed to be acting it out. All right, cortarse el pelo. Muy bien. Muy bien.
Wait, are we taking turns acting?
No, everybody's just doing it. It's a group acting. All right, take a little break. Acostarse. Think of star in there. Acostar. Show me. Muéstrame. When the stars are out, you go. Too bad. Good. Acostarse. All righty. Should probably do this in order to wake you up. Oh, it's even already in order. How about levantarse? Levantarse. It's mid-afternoon. Let's do it. Levantarse. I'll do it if you do it. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Levantarse. 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 Anna's getting a point because she's the only person that did it first. Do it. Levantarse. What are we doing right now? You're showing me you're with me. So I should see you where? Standing up. Levantarse. You have to levitate yourself. Get up. Get up. There you go. Levantarse. There we go. All right. Now you can go back. Should have done sentarse. That's the opposite there. Sentarse. All right. How about, oh, this one's always a little weird to act because we're so isolated now. Reunirse con amigos. Oh, reach out. Give your friends some virtual hugs, virtual high fives. There they are. Someday you're going to get to see them again. Some fist bumps. There you go. All right. Let's see. How about vestirse? Vestirse. What's that one mean? Who's got it? Gus has got it. Who else has got it? Avery's got it. Vestirse. There we go. You're putting on your...
Not to get dressed?
Yeah, to get dressed, right? Muy bien. And again, a little reminder, E to I, when you conjugate it. All right, last one. How about show me, muéstrame lavarse las manos. Lavarse las manos. Lavarse las manos. Okay, how about if I change it to lavarse el pelo? Lavarse el pelo? Good. How about lavarse la cara? Lavarse la cara. La cara. Lavarse el cuerpo. El cuerpo. I don't know if you know that one. El cuerpo is your whole what? Wash everything. Your body. Cuerpo. Good. Your body. El cuerpo. Good. All right. So that was just a little vocab review. Now, what do all these words have in common? They're reflexive. Somebody raise your hand, and hopefully you've been refreshed now on what that means. Alyssa, you want to tell us what that means?
So they all have to do something that you're doing to yourself.
Perfect, right? So it's like, I wash my face, you wash your face, she washes her face, we all wash our faces, they wash their face. Okay, what does it look like? You should have seen it on my card. They all have something in common. Somebody else raise your hand. How do you recognize it? What do they all have in common? Caleb, what do they all look like?
Do they have like this the special ending?
Yeah, what are the last two letters, Caleb?
And can it like change and stuff? I know
They
it has,
can,
like,
but in the infinitive, what does it have on the end?
say.
Say, there it
S.
is. Perfect. Okay, so when you have your basic verb has a say on the end, that's how you can tell that you need to do something with it. Okay, so then we talked about conjugating these guys, and let me just refresh with you where you should look or could look if you need help. Like for instance, when I give you something to practice on in a few minutes, just remember you can always go under my class resources. And I'm trying to remember to put all the notes there. So look, if you want to have a little refresher on reflexive, like for instance, today when I let you go to work on this little actividad, it's right here. Okay, if you didn't print it or you don't have it somewhere else, you can always look here. Reflexive verbs are used when the subject is also the receiver of the action. We talked about that. Has a say on the end of it. We just talked about that. Something you do to yourself. Talked about that. Here's a nice list of them. Should you need to use some on an activity in a few minutes, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. This is a nice little list of them. You also have them on your vocab list. Not all verbs are reflexive. Don't make everything reflexive. And now let me just remind you where to put them. And then we're going to actually go back to our exit ticket from Friday because some of you didn't do super on that. So pay attention to this too. All right. So when you conjugate it, remember I try to give you the phrase one verb, one option. So if you just want to say, I wash my hands, me lavo las manos. Okay, you wash your hands, te lavas las manos. So remember this little me, te, say, nos, or say goes in front of the verb. Okay, and then you just do lavar or whatever it is like a regular verb. So lavo, lavas, lava, lavamos, lavan. The only time those change, be careful if you pick acostarse or vestirse or despertarse, because of course those have a little stem change in them. Okay. All right. Then the other thing we talked about is if you have two verbs, you have two options. So either you put it before the first verb or after, actually attached to the second. Okay, so quick show of hands before I go back to yesterday's Friday's exit ticket. Is this all sounding familiar? Yes? Refreshing with me? Okay. All right. So let's take a look at this exit ticket real quick. I'm not going to go through all of them, but some of you did not do well. And I'm actually going to give you an opportunity to go back and try it again. And some of you did fine, so you don't need to work about it. But you can still look at it with us real quick. All right, so this was this exit ticket I gave you on Friday. And multiple choice, the good thing with multiple choice is you have choices. The bad thing about it is either you're right or you're wrong. So there's no partial credit. So like, let's look at number one together. I feel like a lot of people miss this. So, and there's probably a couple of reasons. So everybody look at it. And then in a minute, you go back and see if you actually missed it or not. So first off, I'm seeing the verb despertarse. I'm seeing los chicos. So they get up, wake up at 7. All right, so here's what I'm thinking in my head. Just look at this one with me. First, I'm thinking they, los chicos. So I know the say is going to stay a say. I have one verb, so I have one option. It has to go in front. So the first thing I'm looking for is a say in front. So automatically, I've gotten rid of these middle two. All right. Then I'm looking at the end of the verb, and it should be in the they form. So it's an AR verb, so I'm looking for an on. Well, they both have on. So now I'm thinking, what's the difference? Oh, say despertan and say despiertan. Oh, I remember this is a stem changer. So that's where I get my IE. So that's why this has to be the right answer. Say despiertan. All right, so when I give you these, I usually don't give you a ton of them, but you got to make sure you pay attention to the details. All right, this one I think is pretty straightforward. Lavarse, Miss Silverly, I brush my teeth. So you put it in the she form. The little say has to come in front. Here, Juana y yo, sometimes it still gets people. Don't just focus on the yo. Juana y yo together makes we. Okay, and this is also a stem changer, E to I. Number 4, pretty straightforward, I think. To form, ducharse, put the little te in front. Oh, there's only one that looks good. And let's look at number 5 together. This one was a little different because I spy 2 verbs, 2 options. Okay, now in this case, there's nothing in front here, so I know it has to be attached to my second one. So if it's necesito, I need, it's in the yo form, so that little say is going to turn into a may. Oh, and there it is, right? I don't conjugate. I need to go to bed at 10. Don't say I go to bed at 10. I need to go to bed or to put myself to bed. All right. So you can go back and look at those, see how you did. If you did not get at least a 3, 4, or 5 on those, I probably gave you the opportunity to redo it. If you never did it in the first place, you should probably do it. And hopefully then you will be ready to go. So what I would like to do is explain to you your little activity that you're gonna work on for the rest of the period. So let's see, I'll have about a half hour to work on this. So if you pay attention here for like 2 or 3 minutes, then I'll let you go. And you might get this done today, or if not, most of it done today. So I am going to share again with you my screen. You can look at it with me, I guess, or you can go to it on your own. It's just under today's assignment. So here's what we got. Un día en la vida de mí. Somebody want to do a quick translate for me? Un día en la vida de mí. What's this little project about?
A day in my life.
Yeah. Who said it? So I can give you your point. Sorry, you were too fast for me. Is it Gus?
Gustavo.
All right. So a day in the life of me. Okay. This is, you're going to tell me about your day. All right. Now please pay attention because I'm going to go through it and I'll show you an example and then I'm just going to let you go do it. All right. You're going to think about your typical day, although maybe not now. What your typical day used to be like would work better for this. Here's what I'm going to need. 10 sentences in Spanish about your day. At least 5 of those sentences need to be reflexive. Okay, you can have more, but at least 5. Please include 5 pictures in color illustrating your day. You can draw, you can use clip art. All right, I'll show you a picture in a minute. Now, in terms of options here, you may submit a Google slide. You could attach an online document if you want to do this on the computer, or you can do it the old-fashioned way on a piece of paper and draw some pictures and take a picture of it and submit it. All of these are good options, okay? 25 puntos, so this is like a little activity. It's more than a homework. I will grade you on including everything. 10 sentences, 5 reflexives. Grammar, I want to see those reflexive sentences and all your verbs conjugated correctly. And effort with your pictures and overall presentation, okay? Again, no need to be Google translating anything. You take your verb, you conjugate it, put it in the yo form, tell me what you do. Okay, keep it simple. Due Wednesday, so that's at midnight. So you have today in class, tonight, tomorrow, I don't know, maybe class, maybe not, but definitely then you'll have some extra time tomorrow night for homework too. So I would think that should be plenty of time. Submit it here. Okay, I'm only accepting a file upload because you're not typing on there because then you can't include pictures and stuff. But you can do, like I said, a slide, a photo, or some sort of document is fine. All right, what I would like to do is show you an example and then I'd be happy to take questions. All right, so my examples are pen and paper. I'll show you and then I'll kind of read you some. So this was one, Un día en la vida de Lily. Okay. And I'll read you some of the things, but just look at the pictures while I have it up here. Okay. So you can see she's got some things that represent her, nicely presented, some color. All right. Here's another one. Un día en la vida de Grace. She's got some arrows. So she kind of goes through her day and it goes in a circle here. I think it actually starts at the top over here, goes around. And she's got some little pictures along the way. Okay. I'm going to read you a few sentences from each. I'm not going to read you the whole thing, but let's see. Grace says, primero me despierto a las 6 de la mañana. Me cepillo los dientes. Como el desayuno. Me pongo la ropa. En la clase de ciencias miramos una película. En la clase de baile bailamos. Says hago la tarea, me pongo las pijamas, me ducho, me acuesto. All right. So what I want to point out there, not every sentence is reflexive. Okay. If you do your homework, okay, you're not homework. Don't make it reflexive. If you are cooking something, if you are dancing, none of those words need to be reflexive. So please don't start making everything crazy reflexive. All right, this one's a similar idea. En la mañana me despierto, después de despertarme me levanto, me cepillo los dientes, me pongo la ropa, voy a la escuela, da, 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 da. Okay, so that's kind of the gist of it. All right, let me summarize and then I'll take questions. So you show me on your hands, how many sentences in Spanish am I looking for? 10 frases. Of those 10, at least how many need to be reflexive? So at least half. You can have more, but at least half. Okay. How many pictures, illustrations do you need to go with it? Okay. And like I said, I don't care how you do it. You can do it on paper. You can do it electronically, whatever works best for you, whatever you prefer. I don't know. Questions? Make sense? Okay. Again, please don't go crazy Google translating. Okay. Basic reflexive verbs. Use your vocab list or use the notes I just showed you. They're under class resources and there's like 8 or 10 verbs right there. So pick half of them or pick all of them. I don't care. And keep it simple. I would think most things would be in the yo form. You could do we, like my friends and I, or my family and I. You could tell me about what your friends do. You could do a they one. But it's just kind of typical, your typical routine. Okay? All right. So first priority is maybe to double check your exit ticket from Friday, see how you did on that. If you didn't do it or you didn't do well on it, I should have given you an extra try if you did not at least get a 3. Okay. Then go on to this project, this activity, and if you finish it today, you can submit it. Otherwise, you've got till tomorrow at midnight. I am happy to stick around for questions. Otherwise, I'm trying my best. Let's see, I think I gave you a good 20, 25 minutes, right? To, yeah, you have about 25 minutes to hopefully get a lot of this done. All right? You with me? Okay, if you don't need to stick around, go to it. If you have questions, stick around and I'm happy to answer questions. Hasta luego.